Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, guys. Welcome to ChrisIsTalkin, and this is my weekly anime review for Drifters, and this is for episode 6. And before anybody says anything, I would just like to say, yes, it is that cold, and yes, it is worth wearing a scarf and a hoodie and just being wrapped up as fuck, because y'all don't understand how cold it is, and I'm just feeling like, nah. Anyways, that to the side, if you're new to my channel, do subscribe, as I do regular anime reviews, movie reviews, skits, and all this other kind of stuff that I do on my channel, because I like to keep y'all entertained. So subscribe for that good stuff. Obviously, if you like the video as well, do hit that thumbs up, like if you hate it, but obviously you love it, so good times right there. Anyways, I apologize for my throat and everything. Let's do this. Episode 6 of Drifters. Alright, this continues on from last week's episode where TOYAHISA ends up finding the captured elven women who were midst being raped, which is kind of fucked up, and you could see in his eyes that he was not going to go easy on these guys, and they were going to be suffering and having their consequences in this episode, which they did, but with a slight plot twist of when TOYAHISA actually brought them out, he was just going to straight up he's gonna pull their balls out from their roots. He's gonna just get rid of everyone. And it was kind of like, raw, the elves didn't really understand his way of speaking, because he was literally saying, I'm going to murder them, but in like the deepest, darkest kind of ways. So they never really got it. So one of them ended up speaking to Nobunaga. Anyways, that guy, Nobunaga. I'm gonna say that. It's because I've got his name and the guy or girl from the guy from Hunter with the sword. I've got his name in my head as well, so I'm just like, fuck it. One person actually commented in the comment box down below earlier, let's say earlier, like in a few reviews before, telling me how it was, but I never read it until it's too late. Oh, sad times. But yeah. He ends up basically realizing, oh shit, TOYAHISA, he shouldn't be doing the dirty work, I should be doing it, because I am used to that kind of stuff. I am the person who does the nasty. And what's crazy is when he was saying this, he was you could really tell he was not joking around. He has taken out clans, he has killed people, and he's not afraid to get his hands dirty at all. And he even explained this to TOYAHISA later on in the episode, when he ended up saying to him, look, you shouldn't be the person who's getting your hands dirty, I should be the one doing this, because I've killed this clan and that clan and this clan and that clan. And whilst he was saying that, you could see he was getting off at the fact that he had taken out these clans. Obviously, like maybe he had his reasons to, but I don't know. But basically, when he was speaking like that, he sounded like a straight up villain, and it makes you kind of really wonder and question, where does his loyalty actually stand when somebody is that crazy and angry, but then also gives us the biggest, happiest smile the whole time? Borderline crazy, but at the same time, he has to be one of my personal favorite characters because of his one-liners and just how he is. Nobunaga is an actual fucking badass. So I totally love the scenes. I'm really interested to see where his role goes on throughout the series, especially as at the current moment he is a good guy, but we've seen in previous episodes that the drifters and the ends, they can go back and forth, and what people think should be a good guy normally ends up being a bad guy, and like you know what I mean. So basically the things like Joan of Arc and things like that, it's kind of like Joan of Arc was actually a good guy, so why is she proper evil now? But then obviously before she died, she got burnt at the stake, which would obviously make somebody turn evil. Anyways, enough for Joan of Arc, but literally I'm very interested to see where the characterization of Nobunaga goes throughout the series. And I would just like you guys to know, do you think he's going to end up being a bad guy? Obviously, you manga readers out there, keep it hush hush, but for you anime onlys, let me know down in the description box down below what you think his motives are, why he's trying to make TOYAHISA become king. That's another thing as well, a bit more to the plot. Nobunaga ends up telling TOYAHISA, look, I will make you king, I won't stop until I get this done. So TOYAHISA, he doesn't actually want to be king, he just wants to basically go into battle and war for the justice reasons. And you can see that he is a good guy, he is an actual proper good person, to a point of where at the beginning he almost not forgave, but you can see that he kind of felt sorry for the troops that were in the castle that were caught mid-rape. Like, so it's kind of like, and during that moment, Nobunaga was like, you're too much of a nice person. Pap! Took him out from the back of the neck and was like, you know what, let me do this. And he's the one, Nobunaga was the one who actually told the elves to pull the trigger, not trigger, but you know, just basically end up shooting arrows at the troops, which is kind of nuts. Oh my god, sorry. Whilst I'm talking, sometimes things just flow into my mind. That giant ass poster in that castle, Hitler? That was definitely Hitler. That was fucked up. And like, yeah, I don't know how to explain it. It was just kind of fucked up seeing Hitler just really right there. And the way he died, committing suicide, and the way they explained him and described him and everything like that really reminded you of the Hitler in real life, and about how he was able to manipulate people through speech and everything. That's kind of fucked up, especially because of what's going on right now with the whole fucking election in America and everything like that. Yeah. So anyway, enough about that. I don't want to get into politics, but what I'm basically trying to say is it was pretty crazy seeing Hitler there, and I wonder what his role had to do with the series, and whether we're going to be having a bit more of him in the series later on. Obviously he's dead, so maybe be flashbacks or whatever, but if you die as a drifter, like, how does that work out? Because weren't you dying already? Can they be reincarnated? Can they be brought back? All that good stuff. But we also find out that these actions that TOYAHISA, Nobunaga and Yoichi have done by taking over the castle, they are basically declared war against Orte. I think that's how you say it. It's against Orte, basically, the Black King and their troops. And so, yeah, so basically what I'm basically saying is they are kind of fucked. I mean, it looked like they had the upper hand, especially as TOYAHISA and Nobunaga's techniques of taking over land are like some of the best. And they basically checkmated Orte by taking control of all of the elves around the capital of where Orte is basically established. And by that happening, all the elves are starting to rise up against Orte, meaning that all the other creatures, like kind of all the other demigods and demi-humans, they will end up realizing, look, the humans don't have that much control. Why should they have that much control? And maybe they will rise up as well. Which is when we get introduced to a new Ends character, some extremely flamboyant character that easily got copied and pasted from JoJo straight onto this. Obviously JoJo, the creator of JoJo, also created this as well, so I do see the kind of similarities, especially with the flamboyantness and the sparkles and shit like that. But this character, what the hell? I mean, like, his underlings, his two people that was with him, kept on calling him princess, and I was like, all right, you can be whoever you want to be, boo, but you, what the hell? Really, really crazy and a very interesting character. I'm looking to see where this character comes back in the future episodes, because yeah, you can see this person's crazy but extremely smart, extremely intelligent. While speaking, he was able to figure out exactly what Nobunaga, TOYAHISA and Yoichi have been doing and why they've been checkmated, and he has something up his sleeve, and that's the reason why he bounced and was like, I'm gonna go sort something out. Would like to just mention the humor in this was a bit hit and miss for me. Obviously I don't mind the humor in Drifters. Personally, I think it's a lot better than some of the stuff that's going on right now in this anime season, because some of the other stuff right now is quite garbage. That's why I don't review everything, but at the same time the humor in this felt like kind of out of place, because one minute you have like loads of action and seriousness, and then suddenly humor. And normally I'm fine with that, but because of how serious the plot line's going right now, I'm kind of like, just give us a bit more in this moment. We get a bit more backstory and characterization with Yoichi and Yoichi's brothers, and about how the elves actually called Yoichi beautiful, which kind of makes sense considering that everybody thought Yoichi was a girl at the beginning of the series. So yeah, so they bring that up. So I'm kind of liking the fact that these things that the viewers and audience are watching right now, whatever they're thinking in their head, the creator of the series brings it out in this series and kind of throws it back in our face whilst explaining some stuff, using this time to give proper characterization and a bit more plot development, and especially kind of leading us towards more where the story might go. Because we did see, I mean, somebody commented in one of my videos, I think last week's video, about how the person in the flashback that we saw in Yoichi's flashback was actually Yoichi's brother, and this person we'd actually seen in the first episode of Drifters. So if you go back and forth, you actually recognize the same characters, and that was Yoichi's older brother. And in this episode we had a talk about Yoichi's family and about how he's the ugliest one out of his 11 brothers, which is kind of crazy. Yoichi's respect for his brothers is quite high and quite weird, but hey, it is how it is, especially as they're from different times. We got a bit more we've got a bit more into, sorry, my mind's just gone frazzled. Oh shit. We got a bit more into what's the name, Easy, and the other guy who was at the desk, I forgot his name, my apologies. And we got to see him kind of just looking at his newspaper, and obviously whenever things happen that Yoichi and Nobunaga and TOYAHISA change, it ends up physically changing right in front of his newspaper. But we also get to see the change happen in Easy's bedroom, which is kind of nuts, because we get to see her in her pajamas and shit like that, and she's actually got her laptop, and then she's got the whole information about how her people are doing, the E&D are doing, and how the Drifters are doing, and you can see that she is pissed. Yeah. Anyways, this was a pretty good episode. I'll give this episode like a 7.5 to an 8. Not too much happened, but we did get quite a lot to do with the story, and we do know that this is going to end up blowing up and a crazy war is going to happen. I'm actually surprised that we're having the Black King has already sent out his people against the main drifters right now, but in the middle of the episode it did kind of speed up a bit, so maybe it's not that strange that is happening. Anyways, what did you guys think of this episode? Did you guys enjoy this episode? What do you think of that character, that new END character that we saw get introduced into the series, and the whole Hitler part? Whoa, what did you think about that as well? How did you feel? Like, what is your favorite part about his explanation? I know it's kind of weird saying this, but I think it's always good to see people's mindset and how everyone else thinks. Hope you enjoyed this review. Do subscribe, check out my other videos. I've posted up a few videos which are non-anime related as well, but feel free to check those out as well, as I like making content for you guys as much as possible. Hope you guys have a great day. Return next week for my review for Drifters episode 7 next Friday. Hope you guys have a great day. Peace.